don't sing and I don't dance. But I am one of 13 children. My wife's one of 7. We have 100 nephews and nieces. I know how to fight. I'll tell you, it's unbelievable to me to think that we have a federal government going to sue Arizona because we decide to defend our border, defend our citizens, stand up for the rule of law that's been the rule of law for 50 years. It's embarrassing. I mean, I expected Moldoff, I expected the ACLU, I expected the left-wing liberals to come after us. Never would I have thought that the United States government would come after. We've got sanctuary policies all over this country. Policies that tell law enforcement you can't enforce the law. Can't enforce it. They're illegal under federal law. They're in violation of federal law. Do they sue them? No, but we're going to enforce the law. I know it's a novel idea, but we thought it was a good idea. You know, and sad, and I hate to take away from some of the tremendous talents been up here and touch my heart. I love this republic, and it kind of reminds me of very simple about the Founding Fathers, and I read about the Founding Fathers. I've read about the real George Washington, the real Thomas Jefferson, the real Benjamin Franklin. How many of you have read the Patrick Henry story? The real debate, not just the give me liberty or give me death, which I agree with. But the real story, when he talked about fighting, he talked about the war that was starting. He said, the war's already started. When do you fight? When you're in chains and laying on the floor, can no longer fight? Folks, that's where we're at. You've heard the people talk about taking back our country. Well, you know what? Arizona leads the way on that. From Prop 200 in 04 to employer sanctions in 2007. By the way, we were sued 7 times Prop 200. Won all of them, including a unanimous decision, the 9th Circuit. We were sued on employer sanctions, the same people, the same arguments. We won 5 times, including a unanimous decision, the 9th Circuit. We wrote 1070 to go to court. We took on the libs. We're going to take back America. We knew they'd come after us. We wrote it to prevail. This law does not preempt anything except Obama's policy of non-enforcement. We're going to take back this country. We're not going to apologize for demanding the rule of law. Don't you? We have this battle. This battle is kind of like a battle of epic proportion. It's no different than the battle about the Federalists and the non-Federalists at the time we started this republic. And you've heard some good stuff up here tonight. And again, I appreciate the fact that you're here, that you're willing to get engaged. We have a battle. We have a battle, not just about 1070. That's huge, and I'm grateful. 20 states are doing legislation modeled after 1070. 4 governors have said they'll sign it the day it hits their desk. We're having a little rally July 30th and 31st. Legislators coming from all over the country. Michelle Malkin's going to speak. Several other great national speakers are going to speak. A memorial to those who have been killed and maimed by illegal aliens. Folks, I keep a list in my office of those. It's several balsa boards thick, double columns, stand about that high, small print. When is enough enough? Rob Krantz, a friend of mine, murdered on the border during the debate of 1070. 12 Phoenix police officers killed and maimed. 17-year-old Tracy Kelly of Highland High, beautiful young lady, killed. Chris Miller killed. 15-year-old in Guadalupe raped. 15-year-old in Scottsdale raped. Just sentenced the guy to 169 years for multiple child rapes. $2.7 billion for Arizona to educate, medicate, and incarcerate illegal aliens. And that does not count county jail time, prosecutions, investigations, cost to victims, or the loss of jobs to Americans at a 26-year high in unemployment. 17 million Americans out of work, and we still have those that think they want to import foreign labor, take jobs from Americans. Well, I'm telling you, I've had all I'm going to take. I believe in this republic, and I believe in the rule of law. I don't hate anybody. My son, a deputy sheriff, I have 2 boys in law enforcement, spent my career in law enforcement. In fact, I'll tell you, and some of you have probably heard that I'm a Republican. And a little on the conservative side. In fact, if my house had a hole in it that went left, I'd rebuild my house. So anyway, But as a young man in law enforcement, I always tease people why I'm a Republican, because I'm really a constitutionalist first. I'm a Republican because I think it's the best hope for getting there. But anyway, as a young man, I had my fingers shot off and shot through the chest in Guadalupe. Didn't wear a vest then as a sign of not a tremendously high IQ. I didn't wear a vest afterwards. They were a little thicker and a little more cumbersome back then, and the summer heat down in Phoenix. Anyway, but I tell people, the reputation of Republicans. Folks, if I had had a heart, I'd be dead. So I want you to know I owe my life to this Republican Party. And I want to tell you, but when you talk about hate, and everybody would like to make you out to be a bad guy, a racist. Illegal is not a race, it's a crime. Arizona didn't make illegal illegal. Actually, illegal was already illegal. I know it's confused CNN and some other folks. But I tell you, and I'm not a hateful guy. I have a son who was shot by an illegal alien, almost died. What's interesting, I was standing at the podium, the Brookings Institute, like I am now, literally standing at the podium debating this issue. When I was handed a note from home, call home immediately, critical, urgent. Wow. First thought as a grandchild, what's happened? So I called home, my wife says, you're not going to believe this, Sean's been shot, he's critically wounded, I don't know how bad, be an airvac to a hospital. So I'm finding a flight home, I excuse myself, and she calls me about an hour later, and she says, Russ, you're going to really be mad. He was shot by an illegal alien. I said, Luann, I'm not mad. Not at him. He belongs in prison, he's a bad guy. Already wanted on homicide charges. A really bad guy. I'm really upset with my government. I've been to these funerals, and I'm lucky. Sean lived. He's with his beautiful family. And takes after his dad, as ornery as ever. And as vigilant as his mom in defense of liberty. But you know who I'm upset with? My government. My government. That shouldn't have happened. What is wrong with them? Secure the border, enforce the law. Citizens have a constitutional right to have the laws enforced and protected from those who break them. Folks, and I beg of you, please get engaged. Stand up for America. Send somebody to Congress that has the guts and the courage to defend this country. When we talk about a contract with America, I love this chapter. But you know what? I have a contract. It's the Constitution of the United States. I've read it. Now, it's not 17 pages like they have in Congress. I understand that. 17,000 pages, whatever. It's a nighttime reading, and yet most of them haven't read it. I take an oath to it. I believe in it with all my heart. I'm very fortunate. I've got some wonderful children who love this country more than they love anything else. And kind of a big hoop, sorry. But I'm grateful for my children and my grandchildren. I owe them the legacy of freedom that we enjoy today. I owe them the opportunity this young man had to come here legally and become an American. You have no right to break into my country, just like you have no right to break into my home. But I got a call the other night from my 6-year-old little granddaughter. She cited the Declaration of Independence, the word perfect. She called me to tell me, because she knew it'd make me proud. And it did. I am so proud of this country and the founding principles of this country. And like Thomas Jefferson says, you don't have a right to steal from the bread earner as you destroy them to give to those that don't work. Folks, socialism has never worked. You earn what you get. We have ignored the principles of personal responsibility. We've turned this nation to a bloated welfare state, along with Arizona. We're on the brink of bankruptcy, both morally and fiscally. I'm so grateful. I look down here, young kids. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, that you care enough to bring them out here and listen to some of these folks talk about how lucky we are. And if you don't teach them about the Constitution, they're not going to learn about it. If they don't learn about it, how can they love it? And if they don't love it, why would they defend it? God bless every one of you. May God continue to bless America.